You would be surprised how often you interact with someone that has been a victim of childhood abuse or neglect, or they're currently experiencing that with their own family or something along those lines. It affects everyone, and it could be someone sitting next to you at church, it could be a coworker, and it's such a stigma talking about it that we don't put it in the spotlight enough. We get referrals all the time from the schools, we get referrals from doctors, we get referrals from the foster care system. It's especially with the COVID pandemic that we've really experienced an uptick. The isolation has created more barriers for parents and has created just a whole new set of problems that they haven't experienced before.
The homeless shelter is really essential in our community. Most people hear homeless child and their first thought is, oh, they're a runaway, they're a drug addict, they cause their parents so much problems. And what they don't realize is that these are everyday average teenagers. They're your next door neighbors, they're your high school age friend who asks to spend the night over and over again. They're kids who come from a history of trauma. There's usually something going on in the home, whether it be something that the parents are doing or a clash between a parent and a teenager that can't be resolved. Some of our kids are kicked out by parents. When we think of homelessness, we like to think of the big urban cities and these street kids living by the railroad tracks, but it affects rural communities the same. We don't get recognized the same by the state, so we don't receive that kind of funding, but rural kids are just as apt to be homeless as urban kids. And we normally don't see them because they're hiding. They're not going to be standing on a street corner with a sign asking for money. They're going to be either staying at somebody's house, hiding in park restrooms, staying in abandoned buildings. They're going to stay someplace where they feel safe. And even though they feel safe, they're not. They're at high risk for abuse, trafficking, drugs. You know, once they're on the street, it's a very scary, unsafe place for them to be.
They teach them life skills such as cooking, cleaning, laundry, budgeting. They help them with job applications and taking them in the community and looking for jobs, and resume building, working with their support groups and building positive relationships and developing self-esteem and confidence in the teens.
Those most at risk typically live under the poverty level. They cannot afford the classes, and so with United Way's help, we've been able to offer scholarships to families in need, and that removes a huge barrier. Removing the financial barrier to families who genuinely need the help and the classes has been incredible. We wouldn't be able to offer it without United Way's help.
And our biggest goal and our biggest concern is to help them heal and to help them live a functioning, happy adult life. It's exciting for us when our kids send us their graduation photos, or that they've entered college, and when they send us their wedding invitations, you know, when they bring in the new baby and the new family and all of these wonderful things, and they're starting these careers. And it's so heartwarming to know that we just had a little bit of change in their life, that we were able to make a little bit of difference and help them on that road.